Hi everybody, we're going to have a quick look at compound interest graphs. It's an exponential graph and it's going to graph this function here where the compound interest amount is equal to the principal times by the rate as a decimal raised to the number of compounding periods. Okay, so here's our first graph. We have a loan of $20,000 at 5% per annum. And we can see on the graph here, at time equals 0, it starts at 20,000 and then it increases over time. After 6 years, we would owe $26,801 and we would have accrued $6,801 of interest. Now, similarly, if we wanted to know how long it would take for the loan to reach $40,000, we could go from $40,000 across to the curve and down to the horizontal axis and would see that it's about 14. And in fact, it's 14.2. In the same way that if we wanted to know how much we owed when time was equal to 6 or 6 years, we could start at 6, go up to the curve, go across to the vertical axis, and it would tell us about $26,000. In this case, if we stuck it into the formula, it'd be 26,801. So there's a starting point. Now, what happens if the principal amount, A0, changes? Let's have a look. So if the principal changes are at blah, 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 that at time equals 0, the amount would be $25,000, as shown here. And because we're borrowing more money, we're going to pay more interest, so the line is going to be a little steeper. Now we can find out, again, the interest at any point by looking at how much we started with and a period of time, and we can see this gap between the starting point and the amount that we owe at a point on the curve, and that would tell us the interest. So at A6 we'd have 26,801. We started with $20,000, so the gap would be 6,801, which is the interest component. Now if R changes, we would have to consider the effect on the graph. So if we changed the interest rate from 5% to 10%, we'd expect to pay more interest. So here we can see the amount of interest paid for 5% per annum, and here we can see the additional interest we would need to pay if it was 10% per annum. This entire line here represents the interest for the 10% per annum loan. The more interest, the higher the interest rate, the more interest we pay. And in this case, we could sort of estimate to say, right, for the 10% loan at 6 years, we'd be paying about $15,000 of interest to have the money for that length of time. Okay, thanks everyone. That's about all I wanted to say.